Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing us how to make this shirt. So the first part of this video was how I drafted out the pattern, so do well to check that out. I'm going to leave that somewhere in the description box down below. I also had a separate video on how to make this collar for this shirt. Again, it's been in the description box down below. Do well to check it out, then come back and watch this one. Okay guys, so what I've done now is I finished cutting out this is the front piece and this is the back piece. So the back piece is cut on fold. I have ironed it very nicely because the fabric was quite crinkled. Front piece, so what I've done with the front, just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So this is the button allowance I left. I also put a notch so that it's easy for me to know where the button allowance is. So when we're drafting out the pattern of this shirt, I did say we're leaving 2.5 inches for the buttonhole allowance. So I'm going to be folding this. I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to be doing it. I will put my fabric down to iron it while I'm folding it so you can see how it turns out. So I'll fold the first 1/2 inch in and then fold another 1 inch to sit on the second 1 inch. So that way we're going to be using up the 2.5 inches that we left for the buttonhole. So just watch what I'm doing on the screen so you kind of understand what I'm doing. So I folded the first 1/2 inch and now this is the second 1 inch sitting on top of the 1 inch, so that way there's enough structure for the buttons to stay on. So by the time I finish ironing this down in place, I would pin it and then take this to my sewing machine and then sew it down so it looks very neatly done. By the time it's done, this is going to be the right side of the shirt. And I would take the back piece, I'll put it like this, and then I would sew the shoulder lines of both of them. I'll sew the shoulder line and then I'll come back and show you what next I'm going to be doing. So what I've done is I have sewn this like so nicely done, very nicely done. So this is the buttonhole. I have also sewn the neckline down, so that's what it looks like, both sides. What I've done on one side of the shirt is I have bent it in like this and sewn it down just so it's nicely finished. Two things, you can either use a bias to do this or you could just hem the shirt and do it this way, and then I have sewn it all the way down on one side. So what I'm going to do now is on this side I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing. I will get my fabric, iron it like this side. I'm going to be sewing down, so in and then the next one I'll iron it down in place like so. So now that is all nicely ironed like this, I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I will sew it down. When I finish sewing this bit down, I would also sew the edge all the way to the bottom. So the shirt has been done. I have done all the sides, closed it up, done the armhole. So we can leave the shirt like this, put the collar on and then put the buttonhole. I'm not going to be showing how to put the buttonhole in this video. So one thing I just realized I would want to do is the bottom of the shirt. So you can either leave the bottom of the shirt straight like this, it will overlap itself like this, or you can let the side be a bit slanted. Do down the pattern when you're cutting it, or you can do it on here like this. So I'm just going to bring out the pattern just to show you what I'm trying to do. So I want to slant the side. I'm going up 3.5 inches and then I've just used my curve ruler to just go like this, just to like the middle of the shirt. You can go all the way in depending on how you want the slant to be, and then I would trim this out just so the shirt will be something like this. This will be for both the front piece and the back piece. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the back piece. So again, I'll go up 3.5 inches. I would mark it and then I would slant it into the middle of the shirt like so. And then I would trim this off. And next time I'm making a shirt like this, I know it's going to be coming out like so. So what I'm going to do is I would take this, got my shirt here, I will put it like so, and then I would trim this off just so I get the slants that I'm looking for. I'll leave like 0.5 inches to hem it. So I'm just going to go like this. So now that I've slanted it, I would take this to my sewing machine and then I would fold the edge and hem it all the way through. If you do not want to slant the shirt, by all means just leave it how it was before. That's why I did not slant the initial pattern paper when I was doing it. But I feel like most times when you slant the shirt, it comes out so much better than just leaving it like that. So I'll take this to my sewing machine, I would hem it, and then I'll come and show you how I'm fixing the neckline, and that will be the shirt pretty much done. I have hemmed the bottom of the shirt. I just need to iron it. So the last thing I'm going to be doing on this shirt now is I am going to be fixing the collar. So I've made a video showing how I made this collar, so you might want to go check it out on the page, but I'm just going to be showing you how I'm going to be fixing it. I'm going to leave a link to how I made this collar somewhere in the description box down below or somewhere on the screen, so do well to go check it out. So like I said, when I was making the collar, I was leaving this opening, so I would start to pin it. So what I've done is I have pinned it down in place. Now before you start pinning, mark the midpoint of the shirt and also of the collar, and then start pinning from the middle to the sides. So that's how you're going to be pinning it, not from the side, you're pinning from the middle to the side. And then I will take this to my sewing machine, I'll sew it down, and then I'll show you how I would finish the rest of the collar. Okay, so I've sewn that to the back down, I've sewn it to the shirt, and I've also just pinned this down in place, as you can see. So this is how it's going to be like. So I'll take this to the sewing machine, I'll sew it down, and by the time I am done, the shirt is going to be looking something like this. I'll just need to put buttonholes and buttons, and that's the shirt pretty much sorted. So it's going to be looking something like this. It's going to have the button here. By the time I'm done, I'll show you what the final look looks like. So if you enjoy the content of this video, remember to like, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and click on the bell icon so when I post any upcoming videos you get notified, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye.